Did you know that readers forget over 90% of fictional characters within days of finishing a book? Yet, somehow, characters like Sherlock Holmes, Elizabeth Bennet, and Harry Potter live in our minds for years. What's their secret? Today, we are uncovering the psychology behind unforgettable protagonists, and I'm giving you a framework that transforms forgettable characters into ones readers can't stop thinking about. The difference between forgettable and unforgettable characters isn't talent or luck. It's understanding a psychological principle I call the Sacred Flaw Matrix. Before we dive in, you might be thinking, character memorability is subjective or about making them quirky. That's what I thought too, until I studied the protagonists of over 200 best-selling novels across genres. What I discovered was surprising. Memorable characters don't need elaborate backstories or unique physical traits. They need a specific psychological structure that mirrors how real humans form emotional connections. Let me show you the exact framework for creating characters readers can't forget, even if you're writing your very first novel. Most forgettable characters fall into three traps. First, the perfect person problem. When protagonists lack meaningful flaws, readers can't connect with them. Research in cognitive psychology shows we actually trust and remember flawed characters more because they mirror our own imperfections. Second, the action without meaning trap. Characters who take actions without clear internal stakes feel hollow. Readers remember characters who make them feel something, not just characters who do things. Third is the static identity issue. Characters who don't evolve their self-perception remain flat. Human brains are wired to notice and remember change, not consistency. Let me show you how to avoid these traps using the Sacred Flaw Framework. A sacred flaw is the core psychological structure that makes characters unforgettable. It consists of three elements. First up is identity. What your character believes about themselves that feels essential to who they are. For example, I am the person who always takes care of others. Second one is wound, the painful experience that created this identity. This isn't backstory for its own sake, but the specific emotional learning moment that cemented their self-belief. Last one is the protection strategy, how they maintain this identity when threatened. These are the habitual behaviors, their decisions, and perspectives that keep their identity intact. Here's what makes this powerful and highly effective. All three elements must contradict each other in some fundamental way. This contradiction creates the internal tension that makes characters feel alive. Let's analyze Elizabeth Bennet from Pride and Prejudice. Her identity? I am a person of superior judgment who sees people clearly. Her wound? Being undervalued by society due to gender and circumstances. Her protection strategy? Using wit and quick judgment to maintain intellectual superiority. So what's the contradiction? It's her protection strategy. Her quick judgment undermines her identity, which is seeing clearly. This happens when she misjudges Darcy, creating the perfect character journey. Now let's go to Sherlock Holmes. His identity? I am the world's greatest deductive mind. His wound? Social rejection for being different. His protection strategy is emotional detachment and hyper-rationality. And what is his contradiction? It's his protection strategy, which is the emotional detachment. It sometimes limits his deductive capabilities when cases require emotional intelligence, creating this ongoing tension. Let's build an unforgettable protagonist together. Step 1. Identify your character's core belief about themselves. This should feel non-negotiable to them. Step 2. Create the wound that formed this belief. The best wounds aren't just traumatic. They specifically relate to the identity formation. Step 3. Develop their protection strategy. The behaviors that maintain this identity when threatened. Step 4. Find the contradiction. How does their protection strategy eventually undermine their identity? This contradiction creates the internal tension that drives character development. And finally, we have step 5. Design key scenes where this contradiction creates both internal conflict and external consequences. The most memorable characters face situations where maintaining their identity becomes impossible, forcing them to either evolve or double down on their protection strategies. To cement character memorability, create scenes where the character's sacred flaw is directly challenged, their protection strategy fails in a meaningful way, and third is they must either evolve their identity or face significant consequences. These emotionally charged moments create what psychologists call flashbulb memories in readers. These are vivid, detailed recollections that persist long after finishing her book. The difference between forgettable and unforgettable protagonists isn't random, it's psychological. By implementing the Sacred Flaw Framework, you're not just creating characters, you're creating psychological mirrors that reflect your reader's own humanity back to them. I've put together a downloadable PDF guide that includes everything we covered today, plus additional examples, worksheets, and advanced techniques for character development. Click the link below to get your copy of the Sacred Flaw Framework. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe for more fiction writing frameworks, and let me know in the comments which character from fiction has stayed with you the longest, and why you think they were so memorable. I just came from a party, and they told me I either look Steve Jobs or The Rock.